Question 1.10. In this question, we are given an electrolytic cell and we are told that we want to plate the iron rod with nickel. An electrolytic cell is an electrochemical cell in which a power source drives a non-spontaneous redox reaction. We are given the cell symbol in the question paper. The long side represents the positive terminal of the cell and the short side the negative terminal. Electrons are considered to flow out the negative terminal, making the electrode attached to it negatively charged. The other electrode is positively charged. The only ions in solution that we need to consider are nickel ions. Nickel ions commonly have a 2+ charge. The nickel ions are attracted to the negative electrode where they each gain 2 electrons. Nickel ions are reduced to nickel metal. The nickel metal atoms which form plate onto or deposit onto the electrode. So this electrode must be the iron electrode, as we wanted to plate the iron rod with nickel. Since reduction occurs here, this electrode is the cathode. Reduction always occurs at the cathode. If the other electrode does not release nickel ions into solution, the concentration of nickel ions in solution will decrease over time as they are reduced and plated onto the iron rod. The other electrode is the anode. Oxidation always occurs at the anode. Nickel atoms at the anode each lose 2 electrons and are oxidized to nickel 2+ ions, and the electrons lost travel up the wire. But is the anode pure nickel or not? If it is pure nickel, it releases only nickel 2+ ions into the electrolyte, and it will maintain the nickel ion concentration in solution, even though nickel ions are leaving solution as they plate onto the iron rod. So a pure nickel electrode is the best way to keep the process going. However, if the anode is a nickel alloy, it will release other metal ions into solution as well, and these will also be reduced at the cathode, resulting in both nickel metal and the other metal plating onto the iron rod together. So yes, the anode must be pure nickel. If we combine the 2 half equations, we get this redox equation, and since nickel 2+ ions are reduced and others are oxidized, we could simplify even further and write the equation in yellow as the net equation or the net reaction. Ultimately, nickel atoms from the anode end up being plated onto the cathode. In summary, we can see that iron is the negative electrode. The metal ions in solution do undergo reduction as they are plated onto the iron rod, and the anode is made of pure nickel. Since all 3 statements are true, the answer is D.